new Zomboid update come out? Kind of, sort of. They're still working on version 42, but I mean, you can always opt into it on the beta branch on Steam. And they've been doing a whole lot with it. I think even some of the challenges might be new. Maybe not. Some of these, are these new? Maybe they're new-ish. I have no idea. I never really did many of the challenges though. A really CDDA sounds kind of fun. It's just like the Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead, just like really garbage start where blind drunk, have a nasty cold, fell badly when you got out of the shower, house is on fire. Just like everything that could be going wrong is going wrong when you start the game. Awesome. On main, they're struggling with multiplayer, that's why they stick to beta. Yeah, according to the recent blog posts that they've done, the multiplayer is coming along really nicely. They've got still some syncing issues with animations and zombie positions and all that stuff. But it's coming along nicely. I'd say, in my opinion, probably just like another month or two, we might start seeing either a date for multiplayer or they'll just go ahead and release it. But they're making sure that it's like 100% set and good to go before they do anything with that, which is fair enough. I'm gonna go with the custom sandbox though. I always play with custom sandbox because I like adjusting all the settings and all that to sort of cater to my playstyle. There's a couple settings that I absolutely hate that are in all the other presets, and I kind of have to go with the custom to fix it up the way that I want it to be fixed up. As far as the spawn location goes, I think I'm least familiar with West Point and Rosewood. Maybe. Riverside, I kind of know a little bit. Try Rosewood, maybe? I know like a section of Rosewood because it mentions the prison. I kind of know a section of it, but that's fair enough. I've got a preset. Builder custom, I think, is what I typically run with. I was taking a look at the Raven Creek mod, by the way. It's a pain in the ass to find on Steam because for whatever reason the search doesn't find it. So you might have to Google it and find a direct link to it. But the Raven Creek mod, holy shit, so good. If you want like a proper city type map in Project Zomboid, Raven Creek is like, mwah, so nice. DKCG have to go to work, bit hyped about this series? Nice. Well, I mean, the VODs will be around. Have a good one. Builder custom though. The zombie count generally a little bit low because the way that I like to do it is the population grows eventually, like eventually 88 days to reach peak, but eventually we get a huge population of zombies. They do respawn at a decent rate. Respawn multiplier about 1/3 or so. Redistribute hours. It takes a little while for them to sort of navigate around the zone and get out of the corners that they might be hiding in. But because I don't have them rallying, because I hate rallying, this is one of the settings that I absolutely have to disable every single time because I hate it so much. Because they don't rally, I got them redistributing fairly often. I was wondering where my tax money was going. Some Texas Con tax money. Tier 1, 15 months. Thank you very much. How you doing? Oh, you just got like the auto renew, siphoning your funds into my wallet. Thank you very much, some text again. Man, I wish I got money for tax time. That'd be great. I always end up owing like a few thousand. Sucks. It's just like suddenly, hey, here's this big fucking payment you gotta make. I think that's why I'm supposed to file quarterly to sort of soften the blow a little bit. You think that's the right link for the Raven Creek map? Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, I'll get this on screen. Zoom us in a little bit too. The Raven Creek. I mean, this isn't the best image ever. It gives you kind of an idea. And before Rickroll, a forum Rickroll. Man, how devious. 64 cells, more than 1,400 buildings, more than 23,000 rooms in it. It's got a few different zones going to it. this takes place, if you were to look on the Project Zomboid map, they might have it, maybe not. But you see here, this is like on the northwest corner of the map, off on the side. So if you go out behind the penitentiary, this is where it would be. You can also just start in there too, if you want. It's a bit rougher that way because this isn't meant to be lived in per se. You're meant to really just do like supply runs into it. But you can start in it if you want. It's so well done though. Like, this kind of gives you the impression that there's just like blocks and stuff like that, but there's so many little alleyways and stuff around. It really feels like a lived-in city. And there's a bit of the residential stuff going on. Nice building variety. Just all these fucking shipping containers. No idea if they have anything in them or not. I'd assume some of them do if you sledgehammer in. Ought to be some crates. But yeah, that's Raven Creek. I can highly recommend that. Maybe we take a look at it at some point in time. Oh yeah, and there's like the direct link to that. Let me make sure we're okay. Yeah, we seem fine. It's just a little bit small though. Zoom and enhance ish to a degree. You get the idea. I think that was already on the forum. Wasn't I able to like arrow? I guess not. There's also, of the official development, they're working on doing a Louisville map, or Louisville, as they call it. And it looks very copy-pasty for the most part, which is a bit accurate because cookie cutter housing, military housing, and all that stuff. So for Raven Creek to have so many different types of buildings and all that is a little bit unrealistic, but man, it still looks nice. And you get some pretty good high rises too. That's several floors there. So much stuff. Like in a normal playthrough, if you were to play alone, I don't think you would ever get around to looking at everything. But like just the alleyways and the streets and all that are so good. And then over this wall is just trees and forests and stuff because this is technically outside of the normal map. Big fucking church. Can highly recommend this mod though. Super duper good. We'll probably take a look at it at some point. I can't imagine I just rock the default stuff forever. And since I have the mod, you know. The only downside of that is every time the game updates, I have to restart from scratch. But if we were to check out Raven Creek, I don't think it'd be like a proper playthrough type thing. It'd be more of just like we dick around with it a little bit for, you know, like an hour or so on stream. They could maybe get like a decent save going, but there's just so much going on. That's why I've got a preset specifically for it, because I had to bring down the numbers a lot. It was rough. I don't think I can freeze the version because they've got like major releases you can, but I don't think I will back up my save stuff gets an archive, so to speak. But if I wanted to play like version 38 or so, I could wind it back to that. But otherwise, unless it's an option in Steam that I don't know about, I don't think so. Would be nice though. I guess the best thing that you could do is just like offline mode on Steam to prevent it from updating. But yes, zombie stuff. They respawn very heavily. They respawn not super duper often, but they do respawn. I'm not sure if respawn multiplier sells desired population that may respawn. So based on what the population is set to at that time, I reckon. So a good third of what is supposed to be there respawns every few days, which I think is fair enough. They do redistribute periodically, so areas aren't always necessarily safe. At some point, kind of sort of random, they'll redistribute a little bit. They don't rally at all whatsoever, because I hate this. Otherwise, it's just, by default, they rally like groups 10 to 15 of them, which by default is a decent amount. And it's just this big ball of zombies just hanging out there in the middle of a field, and it's like, why are they there? Why are they grouped up? And then you just peel them off and kill them. I don't really like that. I'm more like, if I'm entering a building, maybe there's like 1 or 2 inside the building, maybe there's a couple out back, and maybe there's a one out in the field nearby. It's nice. It feels a little more, I don't know, more gamey that way. I like it. Zombie lore, generally the basic stuff. Nothing too wild here. I got their strength and toughness on pretty basic, because if you have them like at all tough, they'll just never die. Like ever. You'll be stomping on their face for a good 5 minutes IRL and they'll still be alive. It's very frustrating. So I just put them on fragile and I got them on weak. I guess I could put them on normal, I suppose, because I don't have them set to destruction on like unseen doors and stuff like that while roaming. I usually have this enabled and I have them on weak so they don't just rip and tear through a building straight away. They like bang on a door for a little while. Yeah, I'll leave it how it is, I think. Infection mortality 0 to 12, reanimate time 0 to 12. Reanimate time, I suppose, can be just like seconds. Infection mortality. We'll give it 2 to 3 days because I think I play with somebody who is going to show symptoms even if they may not be infected, just to keep things a bit spicy. Normal memory, slow and weaken over time. Poor sight, poor healing. For similar reasons of strength and toughness, I really wish these were sliders with more than just 3 options, because these are huge, massive differences. With anything other than poor, if you fight one zombie, another one from across the map will see you or hear you or something, and they'll work their way over to you. I like that they've got the smell just gone now. Smell never did anything, and it confused a lot of people, and they're like, zombies will smell the blood that's on your clothing, you gotta wash, but that isn't the case at all. It literally never did anything, ever, at any point in time. So much misinformation. More like, Project Yeti is cool. Got him! Ah! Thank you, Zercron. Wow, look at that. Last week I was a mug, this week I'm a project? Oof. Day-night active both. I'm thinking still one of these days I might see about making zombies like really fucking tough and scary, and like maybe even sprinters, but they're night active or so. I'm thinking maybe that's something we try at some point. Drag down. We can enable that, sure. I don't know why that's disabled. Fence lunge. The drag down is if you're surrounded by a few zombies, they'll just kind of like insta-kill you. Which is quite okay. If I'm screwed, then I'm screwed. And fence lunge, when they like crawl over a fence or so, they'll be on the ground and they'll do this weird maneuver to attack you. The animation's really glitchy and strange. I don't like it currently. Generally, I like this, but the way that it's displayed for the moment is not that great. Zercron with a gifted sub. Gifted 110 thus far. It's gone to Senach or so. Thank you very much, Zercron. Much appreciated. So vampires? Yeah, kind of like vampires if I make them really strong and sprinters but night active. Something like that. Put a little bit of emphasis on having to do our supply runs during the day and get a little more danger in that. The vehicles. I like the vehicles. Originally, I was really against vehicles in Project Zomboid. I thought that all it would do is make the map a bit smaller, and at the time the map wasn't a whole lot, and it wasn't really clear what they were doing with the map. And I thought that the vehicles would just be a horrible design. But they did a really good job with it, and I'm really happy with them. So I've got the car spawn rates at the high, so people generally have a vehicle. Don't know, it doesn't actually go higher, but this isn't like every house has a car. There's just a lot of cars. If they do have gas, there's not a whole lot of it. They're often not really locked, just to save me from having to break the back window. Our alarms just turned off because alarms in general not a fan of them. I need to see about configuring zombies and their like follow sound distance and all that, and see how that works with house alarms and car alarms, because they just get pulled in from everywhere otherwise. Experience multiplier is boosted a little bit because it's a little bit slow by default. Starter kit on, so we start with a backpack, a hammer, and a bat. Player built construction, we can set that on normal, that's okay. Injury severity low, so if I end up like crawling through a window, I don't rip an artery out. Rear vulnerability low, we can put that at a medium. Weapon multi-hit for like cleaves and all that for some weapons. Leave that on. Melee movement disruption, so I'm a little bit slowed while swinging. I'm okay with that.
Yellow.
Orange. Thank you, ASG. Tier 1, 31 months. Thank you very much. I thought there was a loot rarity for the VHS tapes that are new. Maybe not yet, though. Generally extremely rare for all the stuff, though, because otherwise you accumulate so much of it. It's a bit wild how much there is. I almost want there to be a rarity setting one more rare than extremely rare. Almost. Generators, it is what it is. I got randomized vehicle stories and zone stories though set to often because it gives me more variety in the map. One of my biggest complaints with Project Zomboid is a lack of randomization in the map. Buildings are always in the same spots, and the loot that they have associated with the building is always the same, so it's always just like, oh, I need to go to the hardware store and get all the things ever that I would ever need, and then you're set. But with the randomized vehicle and zone stories, you get a little more randomization to the whole thing. Also the randomized house chance as well. So I like that, and I'm gonna leave it on, you know what? We're gonna leave that on often as well. Why not? I'm okay with that. And decaying corpse health impact, we'll leave that on low. It doesn't really do anything. Helicopter event sometimes. Typically it would just go the one time around day 9. I like having it as always a constant, maybe potential worry, because it's another way to stir the pot of zombies, and also makes a like a get out bag or bug out bag or so a little more important to have. Organization becomes a lot more important when the helicopter event can happen at any time. Nature's nothing much. Rain effects and max fog set to low just so I can actually see. Same thing with the darkness during night is bright so I can actually see. God forbid I actually see what's going on in the game. Shut off 0 to 2 months. Extremely rare house alarms frequency because again, the alarms are just, they pull everything from everywhere. Nuts. I think that's, yeah, that's all mostly default, starting at 7 instead of 9 AM. There you go. That brings us back to zombie count low, but keep in mind, it's a low population start. Definitely. But population multiplier set is actually to 1, which is normal. And the peak come day 88 will be 250% more than. So it's going to get pretty busy. I think I'm happy with Builder Custom. I've played with it for a little bit. Occupation-wise, if you're not familiar with how occupations work, if it's maybe been so long since you've played, or maybe you're not familiar with the game at all whatsoever, we can choose an occupation if we want, which will give us certain boosts to skills and also experience boosts to skills, but it requires some points for some of these. Some of them are a bit expensive. It turns out Carpenter you can generally go for and still have a couple of points to spend, which is nice. I thought that was one of the heavier ones. Yeah, Park Ranger's a bit rough, but look at all the stuff you get for Park Ranger. You're naturally a bit better with axes, carpentry, trapping. You get experience boosts a lot quicker. 100% trapping and foraging experience is huge. Absolutely huge. And I could still probably get... Yeah, I could still get like things like this. So we get a little more experience on top of it, as well as a higher start. Bit nuts, actually. Hey, Kieran, working out again. Working towards being able to do a window wiper. A window wiper? Working towards being able to do a window wiper. I'm not sure what a window wiper is. Wallowing for far too long and finally got the finger out to try to get rid of some handles. Are you, am I having a stroke? I don't know what you're saying.
Yeti. Hard to believe it's been 28 months.
But hey, good job working out though. Ezra Die. Morning to you too. Hard to believe it's been 28 months. Yeah, time's been flying. Absolutely, 100%. Thank you very much for the 28 months. So 27 months straight tier 1 Ezra Die. Much appreciated. Happy to have you. I'm a little bit thinking about going for, I think it was electrician, because electrical skill was always a bit rough for me to get, but I've found that watches and all that stuff can be disassembled, and zombies tend to have that as loot. So it's not so bad, really. And we have 0 to 2 months before electricity turns off, so the generator need isn't really, like, super duper high. I am a fan of mechanic, though, to be fair. Burger flipper seems by far the most useful occupation to have. I'm not sure if you're sarcastic, but it is actually, like, really fucking good. It's a nice one to have. Because short blade and maintenance together with the experience boost that you get means that things like hunting knives and all that, basically, they never break because they're already pretty durable. And when you get the good skills with it, you can do cool sneak attacks with it to one-shot dudes, and they're generally really strong. And then obviously having a bit of cooking skill always helps too. I'm leaning a little bit towards mechanic, because if anything is a pain in the ass to level, mechanic is one of them. Because early on, without many skill points, you're kind of limited to just changing out light bulbs, removing the radio, taking out the battery, and you don't get a lot of experience for that. So with this, we start with a higher skill so I can work on like removing tires and all that stuff. I think I can, after a level, start working on removing doors and car seats, which is just more stuff that I can do to a car, on top of the huge bonus to mechanics experience that we get, coupled with also the general experience multiplier that I've got up like 30%. And then put that also with, if we find a book about mechanics, to get another multiplier on top, we'll get cut up pretty fucking quick. I think I want that. But hey, who knows? We could always try something else another time. I wanted to go with... Let's see if I can find it. Where is it? Not hemophobic. Showing symptoms when we may not actually be infected. Did they get rid of that? Am I just that blind? I think they got rid of it. Damn. Best way to grind mechanic is to fail at it? Typically, but a lot of the stuff you can't even really try to do without certain skill. That's my problem with it. Alright, I guess we can't do... I was gonna get the one... There was one where you show infection symptoms without even being infected, and I was gonna keep things a bit spicy by having that. Get a couple free points with it too, but... Alright, fine. We are negative with point suspense, so I do gotta choose something. Smoker is typically one of the easier ones to grab, because you find cigarettes kind of everywhere. You'll get like 1,000 cigarettes pretty easily. A lot of people will argue high thirst is a good one. High thirst is absolutely terrible once power is out. Because then you're sucking all of your rain barrels dry and all that, and it's rough to keep going. Could always grab things like unfit, or maybe just underweight. Lower strength, lower endurance, prone to injury, but if we work out and get fit, we can actually remove underweight. It takes a bit of doing, but it is possible. Let's go for sleepyhead. A bit more sleep. And then that puts us at 0 points to spend. Typically, I'd like to grab, like, at least fast reader or dexterous. Technically, I could grab cowardly because being panicked doesn't do a whole lot for you in melee. And I sort of refuse to use guns. So technically, if I was like agoraphobic and claustrophobic and cowardly, it's a lot of free points. I don't really want to cheese the points though with that. You're not going to smoke them. What are you going to do with all the cigarettes you find? Not a whole lot. You can put them in a garden spray can to remove a type of parasite on your crops. Technically, if you really care. But I think the parasite, all it does is causes the plant to grow slower. But even then, it's not a huge deal. Just make like a nice, what? Like a cool effigy with it, maybe, with cigarette butts. Could be cool. I think we just leave it like this. Like, it's a little bit kind of whatever, but that's okay. I think I'm fine with it. Yeah, there's a few traits that are like really nice freebies to have, sort of, but I kind of argue that if you're going to be going that route and choose the trait system, you may as well just in custom sandbox settings give yourself more points to allocate. Like, why not? If you're gonna go that way, just give yourself 100 points to spend and just take what you want. Steven Haddon, some dude with a lumberjack shirt, a t-shirt, socks, and sneakers. Okay, well, let's go long socks, long denim shorts. Sneakers is fine. Maybe a short sleeve shirt. Look at us. I like the yellow socks we've got. Those look great. Those are really nice. No, I'm happy with that. Maybe get there we go. Look like a child. How about? Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe some glasses too, because why not? Okay. Hair type grungy behind ears, full beard. Awesome. Let's do it. Thankfully, Hopscook with this game, typically, I know a decent amount of it, so hopefully people don't need to, or at least won't feel the need to give me many tips. So there's that. I was actually watching a somewhat larger streamer try to play this game for their, seemed like their first time, but I'm pretty sure they played it before once upon a time. And, boy, they needed the help. They were out of it. So this is us. Font size and all that should be okay, I would hope. Let me know if it's a little bit rough to read. I think it should be alright though. Like, this might be a little bit troublesome on, like, mobile, perhaps. But it should be okay. So these two tabs here, if you haven't played this game in a long while, these two tabs are pretty new and wild to you then. They've overhauled so many systems. In addition to making all new animations and the 3D models and stuff, they've also gone through and there's like this proper armor system going on and a proper temperature system where we can get all sorts of information about, you know, clothing wetness for sweating a lot, and we know where we're sweating, skin temperature and all that to know if it's actually like kind of sort of happening the way it should. Currently, I don't know why you would need to care so much about it. but it's a thing, and it's kind of cool that it's a thing. It's nice. The protection tab is probably the most useful because that gives you the rundown, obviously, of protection and how you are with bite and scratch defense and the chances of that. And you might notice that, like, oh, my left hand is vulnerable, but my right hand is fine. What's up with that? And it's like, oh, well, your left glove has a hole in it, and you need to repair it. And there's all sorts of stuff for that. And there's also the exercise that we can do if we're feeling up for that. So if we got nothing else to do, we're just killing time, we could do a little bit of exercise, get our strength or agility up. It's cool. It's nice. I like it. It's definitely getting a lot more involved. Training materials is a new tab entirely. Apparently, mechanics for beginners. Right, because our mechanics skill is high enough. I feel like this should be reversed, maybe. Mechanics for beginners is something that we've already read. So I feel like it should be grayed out because it doesn't do anything for us anymore. And we already know what these auto manuals teach because we're a mechanic. We start with the knowledge. I feel like this should be grayed out and the rest of these should be white and bright. But that's a new thing. With the recent, I will back up my save branch. We can attach things on us. Attach the bat on my back. It's not equipped, but it gets thrown into the hotbar down here. Helps a little bit with weight and carrying stuff like that too. Put the hammer on our belt left as well. Why not? And obviously if I don't have the belt on, I can't attach stuff to my belt. There's also holsters that you can find if you want to walk around with a gun. And have a gun on a hotkey, you can do that too. Now keeping in mind that we are playing with, I think, pretty much everything except like, what, canned food, I think is extremely rare. There's a pretty good chance that there's not a whole lot in our starting house here. And if that's the case, then so be it. Well, water bottle I think we start with already, don't we? Yeah, we do. I'll take a second one. We'll automatically drink from the water bottle if it's in our main inventory when we need it. Okay. Oh, a pencil. Suppose I will get this on. Turn that way the fuck down. Put it on a life and living. Don't waste time watching anything else. And yeah, tapes if we have a VHS tape. Alright. This is new too. So I gotta check TVs and all that to see if they have a VHS tape to rip out. Kinda wish there was a zombie franchise set in Europe, 3 times population density and 1/10 of the guns. This is how you died. You could mod that. Easily. I don't think that'd be a problem to make. Oh, there we go. A VHS tape. Strange Little Men. Okay, sure. And a radio. Our first tape, ladies and gentlemen. Strange Little Men. Oh. Boredom's going down. Okay, but it's not really like a skill VHS tape. But okay, cool. We'll keep that in mind. And then yeah, the Valuetech radio, I'll leave there for now. We can rip that apart down the line, take the battery out, etc., etc. First things first though, we should probably see even where we are if we want to stay here. Definitely in some form of residential area. So I'm kind of okay with that. But I thought that was a hidden floorboard or whatever. Well, this is definitely my house. This is looking fairly accurate. Yeah, sure. If we do stay here, which I might also move out to the that 2-story house there if I want a little more space. We should see about getting some curtains up. Block out the windows a little bit so they're not drawn to any of the light that we have. Get over here. Get down. Get stomped on. Some random scream. Nothing to be concerned about. Rip the clothing, make a couple basic bandages. I'm assuming, yeah, rip sheets, that works. So if you get scratched, we got a little bit of bandage to do. Our character sucks at medical skill though, so we're not going to see how severe the scratch is. And it'll probably take a good day or two to heal. No alarm, please. Seems okay. I'll take the curtains. Actually, I will do it... Small green curtain. I'll do it this way. Unless they changed it. I think if you just remove the curtains straight up, it turns into just a generic sheet that looks kind of terrible. But this way it's like actually a curtain. Is Twitch being slow with the notifications again? It's kind of funny that it does that still. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, some good stuff here. So I got my school bag open, containers and all that, if you don't know. They reduce the weight of stuff. The bag itself has a bit of weight. It's got a little bit of weight capacity to it, only 15. But weight reduction 60%. So the stuff that I put in there from my main inventory weight will be reduced when I store stuff away in there. Bam. Very nice. Obviously, bigger bags have more space. Some of them reduce weight more than others. Cooking pot I'll definitely take. Roasting pan, sure. Dish towel I don't really care much about. Can opener I think we already had, but I'll take it anyway. Bowls always cool. Matches always cool. Don't think I need the bread knife. Nothing in the stove. The light on, actually. And I think I want the sound up a notch. VHS. Home. Sure. Trapping for beginners? I'll probably never get around to doing trapping. I don't really like the system of trapping that they've got currently. And some long denim shorts. Pass. If I find some scissors, I can cut up the long denim shorts to create denim straps, which we can use for repairing clothing. But I currently don't have that. Ooh, generator. Comic book for reducing a bit of boredom. Metal bar, metal sheet, club hammer. I started with a hammer, so I don't need that. Hand torch, a wrench I'll take. Hand torch. Take the battery, maybe. Did you... Ah, there it is. Good to know. And the generator. Yeah, good condition and all that. So generators are a bit bullshit. I've got it set that I can run these things outside. Within so many tiles, they create power at the cost of fuel. So because I have it enabled that they can run outdoors, when power gets shut down, I can still have the generator power like the gas station. And then the gas pumps work again. And the gas pumps I've got set to still be infinite fuel. Because longevity, etc, etc. Easy mode, why not? Not dead yet, Sparkle Lord. This is how we died, though. Give it a minute. We'll get there. Another radio. I'll take it for now. Gotta find a screwdriver so I can take them apart. CD. Constant Worship. From Songs of Glory. Okay. There's the mechanics for beginners. Don't need that. We've already read it. Well, we started with the skill for it. We don't really need it, I suppose. But the other ones, I will definitely take. Eggplant, ham, milk. Container's full. Mutton chop. Delicious. Baking pan. Don't think we have a baking pan. Another bowl, more matches. Canned peas. Gonna be a feast at Yeti's tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna make a canned peas stir fry. Maybe. I don't know. No promises. But I want to die now. Okay, well... It's your playthrough. You die when you need it. Or so. Hey! Key in the glove box. Good stuff. This thing looks pretty beat up. Harp and tissue. It looks very beat up, though, is the thing. Let's take a look. Sometimes you get lucky and the key's in the glove box like that. Other times it could be on a nearby zombie. Could be in a, like, on just a floor tile nearby. You gotta keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. So... Oh, can I not resize this window? I thought I could. Looks like it's got a little triangle there. Oh, well. It's actually in pretty good shape. It just looks a bit shit. But... it could be worse, certainly. It's even got gas in it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a van. Starts right up. New vehicle sound effects also. A bit, odd. Much like the song. Quite odd. Leave it parked here for now. I don't want to drive it around for now. Sudden flashbacks to our last Project Zomboid run where we sucked at driving. Yeah, I grabbed Sunday Driver, I think it was. So like if you touch grass, it's like a dead stop. Like you're not moving anymore. It was a bit of a problem. Okay. So, whoops. Oh God. Not the button I wanted. Those in the fridge. Mutton chop. Cold pack doesn't really do anything for us. If you're an engineer or get a magazine, we can make a sort of trap with it, but... never really... Wait, turbo? Why are we on turbo? Wait, this isn't my house. This is our next door neighbor. Did I skip over this house entirely? I think so. Actually, this isn't my house. Give me this back. What are you doing? No, yeah, I looted this. That's empty enough. Yeah, we looted this. Okay. And no, I want the... This is our house. That's looking a bit better. Ooh, woodcraft. Pipe. This is why you want to watch Life and Living TV. They often have, I think at the hours of 6, 12, and 18 or so, they have a chance of playing... Oh, it just ended actually. They have a chance of playing a information show that you can watch and get experience. Something like before the pandemic like finally hit and took everybody out, the TV stations put on just kind of like, I don't know, looping documentaries and stuff like that to help educate people. I'll put VHSs in there too, why not? General just activity things. And then if I were to place... the curtains. I don't think small green curtain can go over a door, but maybe. Nah. just the windows, which is fine. But yeah, if I just like took these down, they would default to like this nasty white sheet, and I don't like the way that it looks. So I tend to just directly pick up the curtains and place them. I think it looks a lot nicer. And when we get curtains up everywhere, we can have the lights on, and we won't be bothered much. Anyway. And then for this being our bedroom, actually, we should probably cover this window first, actually. Hey, doing Theranum? You a fan of Project Zomboid? I fucked up, didn't I? Oh well. Well, we get to see if they've changed it at all. Yeah, no. That's the default thing. Whether it's a curtain or whatever, it's just, ugh, it looks terrible. I don't like it. Ah well. I done goofed. Right, yeah, food. We still gotta unpack stuff, don't we? We already have afternoon as well. Don't have a whole lot of time for looting. It's a watermelon. Pepper I'll leave out. That can go into the freezer. If you do end up playing this game, by the way, and you haven't really looked through, I highly recommend going into the accessibility options. Resume normal speed when timed actions complete. 1000% recommend it. So if you're just like doing something and have a lot queued up, you can just hit like F5 or whatever to speed up time a ton, and it'll automatically resume to normal speed when that's finished up. So some things like picking up planks or car tires and stuff like that saves you personally a lot of time with that enabled. A lot of folks don't know that that's an option, so I thought I'd spread the word a bit. Roasting pan, cooking pot. I'm happy we got a cooking pot. I played this a little bit in my spare time a while back, and I never found a cooking pot. Ever. So I couldn't make soup, which sucked, because soup's obviously one of the easier things to make. So place item. So this is also new. Being able to place things. You can rotate with R or Shift R. It's by default locked to 5-degree increments. A lot of items have a 3D model. Some of them don't. If they don't, you just place it on the ground at your feet. But if they do, we're able to do stuff like this. That's really neat. That's new. At least to me, it's new. That's very neat. I'm gonna turn the light on too. We don't have a sheet on this door, but I'm gonna risk it. Yeah, canned peas, chips, bowls, and pans. We'll see about doing like actual fresh food and then just all the other crap in these, so I can stand in the corner and do some decent cooking. Everything will be reachable. Yeah, no, that's all fine. The wrench, I think. Yeah, put that on my belt. Constant worship, and then we can put some random crud in you. Yeah. Alright, head back out. We want to find still sheets. Yeah, really recent, I think, right? Like, maybe over the weekend, I think. Super recent. There we go, electronics magazine. I'll take it. See about reading that tonight. Magazines don't take very long to read. Books take the better part of an entire day to read. That's why I like to grab fast readers so I don't have to spend the entire day doing it, but, well, I don't have that, so we'll see how it goes. Highly recommend books, though. Oh my god, you've got the key in you, too? Also, bandage and painkillers and, like, a seagull or something? What was that? Okay. Are you also in okay shape? That'd be really cool if you are. Fucking hell. It's in pretty okay shape too. Wow, okay. Come on, you shit. It's got a little bit of gas. Maybe it's actually out. It might actually be out. It looked like it had a sliver. Gas tank. Yeah, no, it is actually out of gas. Okay. But that's right next to home. So we can come back for that another time though. Combine the vans to make a mega van? Dude, kinda sorta. I think the best vehicle for storage space is the Spiffle van. I think its trunk, if it's in 100% shape, is 110 capacity or so. It's a lot. Garbage. I'll take the watch though. I can disassemble watches. And you have no alarm set. Do I have an alarm set? I never actually looked. Oops, that's not the right button for that. No, no alarm set. I gotta keep an eye out for that. Sometimes the watches that zombies have will have an alarm set. You don't want to not know about that. Curtain closed by default. That's interesting. Hello? Remove unsightly bodies from nice suburban lawn? Yes, you can. And indeed I should, because I do have decaying health impact on. Not that that does much, but, well, still. But yeah, you can pick them up, make them into a nice little pile, and burn them to get rid of them. Alternatively, I have it set to despawn them after like a week or so in game. Something like that. We are slightly overburdened now. And also hungry. Ah, I see. You weren't actually putting them in the backpack. That explains that. Because these were, yeah, 2 pounds each. Bam, much better. A third water bottle I don't think I need. Take the mug. Mortar and pestle I don't think has a use. But I'll take it anyway. That's just general garbage. I think so. Cooking for beginners? Yes, please. And a journal. If we have a pen or a pencil, we can write in the journal and leave ourselves notes. The Depth of Your Love by Donnie Mason. Sure. And the auto manual we don't need because again we're a mechanic. We started with the knowledge. Rope and wire. I'll take those. If I find like a basic electronics magazine, technically then I can read that for the experience multiplier boost. And then we can grab up the light bulbs out of stuff. I think you get a little bit of experience for taking light bulbs out. Which is a bit odd. It's not like a really, like... I wouldn't consider myself to be an electrician because I can remove a light bulb, but... to each their own, I suppose. Put rope, wire, and candy in the back of my van for the authentic image. Seems a bit sus. All that. So these curtains I can put over a door. Ah, okay. No, I can't. Yeah, fine. So we have to go with, like, the basic sheets then for the doors, I suppose. Hey, how you doing, Rhino? A zombie survival today. Well, hopefully. That's the idea. Get these curtains out of there. Put a proper black curtain on it. Okay. Because this, then, can have the nasty, ugly sheet since it can't have a whole lot else. Proper shut-ins. Let's do it. Vision. Still have a proper curtain. Yeah, that looks okay. And I think... Oh, hey, fishing's going up. A fishing show's on. Because I got the TV still turned up a little bit with the volume. We can still hear it. It's just really quiet. That's okay, though. Not like I need to listen to it when I'm outside or anything like that. Refill the water bottle, so we're still okay for that. General stuff. Wire, rope. The watch. I guess painkillers I can store away into like a... We'll pretend it's a medicine cabinet type thing. Also the ripped sheets, and I got a proper bandage. For if I get injured. Okay, so let's do some cooking. What do we got? Milk, pizza, watermelon, eggplant. Let's see about making a soup. Don't think zombies were interested in cocaine. Who said I'm making cocaine? It's Matthew. I guess I could use the crafting menu. We'll make a soup out of eggplant, cabbage, a little more cabbage, salt and pepper, obviously. I'm alright with that. We'll leave it at that. And then throw it in the microwave. Wait, no, I have a stove. For a moment, I didn't think we had a stove. Bump that up to max. 300 Celsius. Oh, wait. Ah. Okay. Gonna be a little bit. You can microwave it though if you want, though I think if you microwave stuff, it adds a little bit of boredom to it. So if it's already kind of a boring meal because you put too much stuff in it or too many of the same thing, or you just suck at cooking, it's really fucking boring, which leads to sadness, but boredom and sadness currently don't do anything, so if you want, you can totally just do that and not care. Which I don't like to do. Like, there's so many moodlets in this game that, like, you don't have to worry about it at all. Like, even with sleepiness, like, we're pretty drowsy right now, we could lay down. At some point, we get, like, super duper tired, but it doesn't actually do anything. I think our visibility changes a little bit, like it's a little bit slower to update, but that's it. It's not a huge deal. Make 2 bowls of soup because this is, yeah, that's a lot of hunger that reduces. We're gonna make that into bowls of soup. 8 without table shows self out. Yeah, like yeah, but like it doesn't matter in this though. Like 8 without table is kind of world ending. And this though, it's a little bit whatever. Yeah, 25 is a bit nicer. We're pretty proper hungry. Let's go for drinking half a bowl. Disgusting. See what that does. Ugh, God. That did nothing. Okay. Drink the rest of that then. Okay, now we're good. So the rest of that's breakfast. Nice eggplant, cabbage, salt and pepper soup. Good stuff. It's nice when you got a cooking pot for soups. Really nice. And I turned you off? Yeah, I did. Don't want to start a fire. Bedtime! We got the curtain on the window, so it should be kind of okay. Sleepiness and exhaustion affects combat? Not really, though. If you're using, like, a pistol? Absolutely. But, like, melee? Nah. Well, exhaustion, yes, but sleepiness? Nah. Exhaustion, though, yeah, hugely. That'll wreck you. When suddenly you can't knock them down or knock them back or anything like that. But if you're sleepy and exhausted, or sleepy, and not exhausted, it's fine. It's whatever.